Peace reflections. You are over here with Tarithia. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, depending on which platform you are on. Now we are on the go, but you know Saturn don't care nothing about we on the go reflection. Saturn saying you better get your ass up here and tell them what they need to know. So I said, okay, Saturn, listen. Listen, you already coming in aggressive, baby. You're already coming in a little aggressive. Okay. So with that being said, reflection, if you don't know, Saturn is returning. Yes. And if you don't know about Saturn's energy, then jump in the building, jump in my spaceship. Now, we usually don't like to come over here, over there. Oh, this is Tartarus right here. This is Tartarus. This is Tartarus energy. Okay. This ain't the side of Capricorn. You know, Capricorn is the father of the whole Zodiac sign. Let me turn this music down. Let me turn this music down because I don't need no excuses. Y'all telling Saturn you couldn't hit me and shit over the music. I don't need that there. I don't need that reflection because Saturn don't care. Saturn don't want to hear no excuses. Saturn is that fatherly like of the zodiac sign. You know, Saturn don't want to hear nothing about, well, I was a little tired. I was under psychic attack. I ain't have enough money. Saturn don't care nothing about none of this shit. Reflection. Saturn said, if it ain't enough, make it enough. That's how Saturn is. Reflection. You see what I'm talking about? Saturn over there fucking with my technology and everything. Saturn, yes. I'm not blaming this on Mercury. This has to be Saturn. This is Saturn's energy, okay? Now, if you don't know, Saturn, listen, it's going backwards. Saturn is going backwards in rotation. Reflection. Saturn is going backwards in rotation. Now, if you do not know about Saturn's retrograde, definitely check out the energy of Saturn's retrograde. Definitely check out my other video reflection where I was talking about the different retrogrades and what to expect when that energy comes around. But this particular video, not only are we talking about Saturn's retrograde, we are also talking about the strawberry moon that happened last night. Okay. We know the full moon is in effect and Capricorn energy is in effect. So, oh my goodness, reflection, you know, you could even be feeling a little sleepy lately. You could feel a little sleepy than normal. Reflection, don't even worry about this. Just Saturn. Saturn let you know, listen, I'm coming in the building, get your sleepy shit together because you finna go in overtime. Yes, you are about to go in overtime. But before we talk about Saturn's retrograde, let's talk about this strawberry moon. Because we know the strawberry moon is don't come around every so often, reflection, but it is truly a sight to see. Let's talk about it.
Happy full moon, bitches. Not only is today summer solstice, so it's the longest day of the year, but there's also a full moon in Capricorn, and it's called the strawberry moon. And because the moon is in Capricorn, you know that bitch is productive. You know that bitch is a go-getter. You know that bitch is like, I don't want to hear your excuses. So let's get into how this full moon in Capricorn, called the strawberry moon, is going to affect your zodiac sign. Taurus, this full moon is going to be in your 9th house of adventure and higher learning. So basically, the full moon wants you to stop being a dumb bitch and go travel and learn something. And the universe knows that you could be a stubborn, fixed bitch, but it wants you to make long-term goals, but also take joy in the journey. And all the small little things that bring you pleasure. Enjoy those too. Leo, the full moon is happening in your 6th house of health and wellness and routine. The full moon wants you to think about what you do on a daily basis and how you can improve it. So in other words, think smarter, not harder. Scorpio, the full moon is happening in your 3rd house of communication. So it's time for you to crawl out of your dark and twisty cave and go network. But make sure that you don't overwhelm yourself because we know how you get around people, Scorpio. You don't like them. Scorpio, this is also a great time for you to think about the little squabbles that you've been having with your friends and your family in your relationship and actually solve them. Stop ignoring them. Stop sweeping them under the rug. Solve it. And because it's happening in your 3rd house, the universe wants you to respectfully learn how to speak your mind. Because we can all deliver a message. You just lack tact. Okay? Aquarius, the full moon is happening in your 12th house of solitude and self-reflection. The universe is going to want you to take that little emotional backpack that you've been carrying around and drop that shit off. Harboring hate, resentment, holding a grudge is not becoming of you. The full moon might even present a long-term closure that you've been dealing with, and it wants you to actually take the time to forgive yourself and to heal yourself. And it wants you to practice a little bit of self-love, meditation, journaling, yoga, anything that gets your mind off of stuff that really don't fucking matter. Like and follow and hit the playlist below so you can hear how
All right, reflection. Definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay. Now we are going through each zodiac sign to know what to expect. Okay. We know the strawberry moon was just an effect reflection and the energy could have been a little off. Okay. We know Saturn is the planet that makes you look inward. Saturn makes you take off the mask. Saturn said, listen, I see through all of that. I'm not Scorpio or nothing, but I see clean through all of this. Scorpio was supposed to transform you. I don't know if they did the job or not, but if they didn't, listen, I'm here to go on ahead and carry it out by any means necessary. I don't think you heard what Saturn said. Saturn has that energy of by any means necessary.
There's a full moon happening tonight, and she is tired of your excuses, bitch. The full moon is called the strawberry moon, and it's happening in Capricorn. And it's a productivity, a go-getter, it has grit. Like, it doesn't want your excuses of why you're not doing the things you should be doing. So let's see how this full moon is going to affect your zodiac sign. Geminis, the full moon wants you to go on a purge. It wants to act as a detoxifier. It wants you to get rid of all the shit in your life that ain't serving you. And that's a lot. The full moon wants you to be introspective, reflective. It wants to look at all the stuff, where you've come from and how far you've come, and it wants you to be proud of yourself because you have come a long way. But it also wants you to sit there and look at the patterns that are happening in your life that aren't exactly being productive and helping you and only hindering and hurting you, and it wants you to stop it. Simple. Also, Geminis, I hope you have some money saved because you might come across a financial shift. It might be for the better. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the universe is saying. Virgos, this full moon wants you to relax, bitch. It's happening in your 5th house of creativity, and the full moon knows that you take shit too seriously. You're too stressed out. You're too judgmental on yourself and other people, and it wants you to stop. The universe wants to give you time and space so that you can enjoy your passions without having that urge to critique yourself, because we all know how you are. Sagittarius, this full moon is happening in your 2nd house of finances. The universe wants you to be a rich bitch, so it wants you to take a look at all the talents that you have and how you can bring in money through that instead of doing the normal 9 to 5. It wants you to look for all your little side hustles so that you can grow it and become more financially stable. The more financially stable, the more trips you get to take, and we all know who you are with a fucking trip, bitch. Just make sure that you're smart about those decisions. Don't be too risky, like be realistic. Pisces, this full moon is happening in your 11th house, so it's of close partnerships, friendships, and all that stuff. So it wants you to take a look at your friend group, bitch. The universe wants you to reconnect with old friends, reach out to a colleague you haven't talked to in a while. And if you've been beefing with people, it's time. It's time to have that conversation. Have that conversation, share your boundaries, and get back on track. Also, the 11th house is all about your humanitarianness, so you need to take a look at all of your talents and how can you use them to bring good into the world and to help other people. So do some charity work, and I'm not talking about going back out with your ex. That's different charity work. Like and follow, hit the playlist below, because I'm going to get into.
All right, reflection Saturn said, I'm just here to try to make you Greta. I said Greta. I'm just here to try to like Hansel and Gretel back. I'm just playing. They said, Saturn said, I'm just here to try to make you better with a B. I'm just here to try to make you better. Now, some of y'all is stubborn. I told y'all to do some shadow work. I told you Saturn was coming. What I said, I don't even want to say. Listen, I told you Saturn ass was coming. Reflection. I told you that. Listen, Saturn is not like Terethia. Saturn is not goofy. Saturn rarely even smiles and grins and laughs. Reflection, I'm trying to tell you about Saturn's energy.
Get ready for all the crazies to come out the woodwork. There is a full moon happening tomorrow on June 21st, and it's in Capricorn, and that bitch is called the strawberry full moon. And this full moon is going to be unlike other full moons because it is centered and focused on productivity. Stop being lazy, bitch. Because she is in Capricorn, the focus will be on achievements, your work, productivity, climbing up the ladder, doing better for yourself. And if you respect the universe and her twisted way of doing things, you will find this full moon to be very useful. The full moon is a perfect time for you to set your intentions, to manifest on what it is you actually want to do, and to put it out in the universe, and to allow the universe to conspire with you to make shit happen. These 4 zodiac signs will be affected the absolute most by this full moon. Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer, bitch. Ooh, Aries, we about to get that bag, bitch. The full moon is happening in your 10th house of career. This full moon energy is going to give you that extra little boost to go after the things that you want to go after. But it also wants you to take the time to look at the things that you want and whether or not they're actually going to fulfill you once you get them. All success ain't good for the soul, honey. Cancer, the full moon is going to be happening in your 7th house of partnership. So it's going to want to put focus on all those toxic ass relationships that you have. It's going to highlight, what do you actually get out of having a relationship with a toxic person? Absolutely fucking nothing. Use this full moon energy to move the on and to get better friends. Libra, this full moon is happening in your 4th house of home and family. This full moon wants you to put energy and focus on having a more stable and secure home life. Doing so will help you to create a more emotionally well-balanced life for you, Libra. So this would be a great time for you to go to Home Depot with your family, start renovating, fixing up the house together, have some emotional bonding. Capricorn, it is all about you, bitch. The full moon is happening in your 1st house of self. Capricorn, it is time for you to start Capricorning. What are your goals? What are your dreams? And how are you going to get there? It's time to take a step back and to reflect on who you are. And remember, if you don't get everything done this full moon, there's another full moon in Capricorn coming up, bitch. And how will this full moon in Capricorn going to affect all of the zodiac signs? Bitch, I guess you're going to have to come back for part 2.
Reflection. We just out here trying to let you know. We just trying to get, a little public service announcement. Yes, when most retrogrades happen, that was the strawberry moon though, and it was so beautiful. For everyone who missed the reflection, I'll try to put a picture up on my community wall so you can actually see the strawberry moon. If you missed it, definitely check that out. Okay, I usually post them on Instagram, like pictures when I'm doing pictures of the sky and just different things like that, reflection, looking at the stars, just looking at just activity in the sky, reflection. Some people said that those are extraterrestrials. They said they extraterrestrials up there, reflection. Do you think a little piece of them? Do you think Saturn's energy? Do you think?
Oh, bitch, you're scared. You came back for part 3 of how Saturn in retrograde is going to shake shit up. And for those of you that don't know, Saturn in retrograde is like Mercury in retrograde on steroids. Saturn in general is why your life is having so many problems. And now that that bitch is going backwards, it's about time that you listen to the universe or it's gonna slap you. Cause Saturn is the planet of responsibility, learning life lessons, and your karma, bitch. So let's see how this Saturn in retrograde happening on June 29th is going to affect the fixed signs. Taurus, Saturn is retrograding up in your 11th house of close relationships and partnerships. That means that you gotta turn inward and ask yourself, the people that I'm surrounding myself with, are they helping me or are they hindering my growth? If you're friends with somebody just simply because you guys have been friends for a long time, that's some bullshit and the universe is going to send some lessons, bitch. Cause you know that your friends are trash. And if you continue to stay around them, don't be surprised when one of your friends does something super up to you, because the universe tried to warn you, bitch. Leo, Saturn is retrograding in your 8th house of emotional bonds, intimacy, and karma. The universe wants to know why you're so comfortable. It wants to know why you hang around the people you do. And what do you think you get out of it exactly? Is it a good friendship, like a two-way street, or is it merely an obsession that you can't let go of? And the universe is like, but you should. If you got connections with people that you shouldn't have connections with, you are not going to feel centered. And the universe is going to keep sending the same lesson with a different face, bitch. Scorpio, Saturn is retrograding in your 5th house of romance and expression. We all know that you like to work, Scorpio, and you can be quite serious, but the universe wants to know, what do you do for fun? What do you do to relax? What do you do for some self-care? Also, the universe is very aware that you are a fixed sign, but it really wants you to let your hair down, relax, and have some fucking fun. Just bring some condoms, Aquarius, Saturn is retrograding in your 2nd house of money, so you're about to have some life lessons when it comes to your finances, bitch. The universe realizes, Aquarius, that you don't want to be a broke bitch, that you want to make money, but the universe wants you to sit back and ask yourself, how am I bringing in money? And does that align with my purpose? And do I really, really feel good about it? And if you
hit the like and subscribe button, reflection, Sagittarius. Listen, Saturn said you can have a little fun in the sun. Y'all must be doing a little shadow work out there. Shout out to y'all, okay? Now they said, Teresa, don't be just calling out no fucking Sagittarius. Sagittarius ain't the only person that been doing no shadow work. I know that. But you heard what they said. They said if you don't learn the lesson through one smiling face, they'll sit another and they'll fuck around, sit on Gemini, Aquarius, Virgo, Scorpio, Libra, listen, Pisces, Taurus, listen. Yes, they're gonna send them reflection in a whole different face. Look at Saturn.
All truths will be told, all lies will be exposed. Welcome back to part 2 of Saturn in retrograde and how the universe is gonna pip slap that ass. Mercury in retrograde who? That bitch ain't got nothing on Saturn in retrograde. On June 29th, the planet of responsibility and karma and life lessons is going to be going backwards. So it's going to put a spotlight on you to look inside instead of looking at other people to blame about your problems. And it's going to affect all of the zodiac signs. So let's get into the cardinal signs. Aries, Saturn is retrograding in your 12th house of spirituality. So it's going to want you to take an extra good look on the inside for all the shit that you've been doing, all the patterns that you've been submitting to, all of the stuff that you've just been allowing. The universe is like, hell no, not anymore. It's time to stop making excuses and to heal from those wounds, bitch. Cancer, baby, Saturn in retrograde is happening in your 9th house of adventure and higher learning. The universe is going to want you to take a look at your belief systems, all the things that you hold dear, all the traditions, all of the things that you think are what is right for you. You're going to start questioning yourself, bitch. You're going to start looking at shit and being like, this don't make sense anymore. I don't think I believe in it anymore. So like, what's your opinion on the war so far? It is quite okay to feel how you feel, but it's also just as okay to change that opinion, bitch. Libra, Saturn is retrograding in your 6th house of health and routines. So the focus is going to be on all the shit that you're doing that could potentially be really bad for your health. And not just physically, mentally too, spiritually. The universe wants you to self-reflect, it wants you to meditate, it wants you to journal, it wants you to look at how to do things healthier in your life. Capricorn, Saturn in retrograde is happening in your 3rd house of communication. So the highlight is going to be you putting a focus on how you speak to other people and really being honest with yourself if you're actually being a decent human being. How are you speaking to people? How are you interacting on the internet with people? And honestly, if you're talking to people the way that you wouldn't want to be talked to, I don't know, maybe you should stop. Like and follow for part 3 of how you could keep scrolling, but I wouldn't. If you think shit is already going sideways with celebrities, with shit being exposed, you have no idea what's in store on June 29th, bitch. Mercury in retrograde ain't got shit on my girl, Saturn in retrograde. That bitch is taking names and numbers. Saturn is the planet of responsibility and karma and lessons being learned. And during retrograde in Saturn, it's going to literally be looking down on us and being like, did you get the lesson yet? Did you learn your lesson? No? Okay. Shit, that bitch Saturn's like, you better learn a phrase, and it's called self-reflection. See, Saturn is the universe's strictest teacher, and she is not playing with y'all. Saturn is already that funny bitch that just throws obstacles your way just to see if you can hang. And when she goes into retrograde, that bitch is tired. She is tired of your bullshit. Think of Saturn as like your daddy. Not that kind of daddy. Think of Saturn as like the parental guidance of the universe. And they're trying to give you lessons, but they want you to get there on your own. And then it gets to the point where they see that you being dumb as fuck, and they're like, okay, we gotta smack this person in the face because clearly they're not learning shit. When Saturn goes into retrograde, you're no longer gonna be looking outside and being like, you're the problem, you're the problem. No, you have to look inward and realize that, bitch, maybe you are the fucking problem. Think of Saturn in retrograde as an opportunity to be real with yourself. Not like Jenny from the block real and, you know, the orange soda and the bodega. I'm talking about being like really real with yourself. You didn't sing those songs, bitch. Ashanti did. And luckily for y'all, Saturn is retrograding in the sweet, empathetic, kind, caring sign of Pisces. So you're gonna have a lot of grace for yourself, but don't have too much because Saturn's like, I'll give you another lesson, bitch. And the signs that are going to be feeling it the most are the mutable signs: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Fuck.
Hit the like and subscribe button. Reflection. We just over here trying to give a little public service announcement. Just trying to give you a little warning. Just let you know if you was thinking about, you get what I'm saying, doing any more shadow work, continue on. But just know what all you didn't do, Saturn is coming to sweep it up on the back end. Reflection. Nobody likes when Saturn comes around. Oh, we listen, I ain't saying, I'm just saying out of every retrograde, Saturn be the hardest. Reflection. Saturn will really make you look at all the shit that you never wanted to look at. So you're gonna be like, I thought I suppressed it. I thought, listen, Listen, Saturn gonna bring up all the tests. Saturn said, listen, I'm finna bring up all this is your final test in this particular cycle right here. Listen, this is the final test in this particular cycle right here. You better get your shadow work and your journal book. You better show me you over here putting in that work. You better show me you putting in that work, because the only thing that can reverse karma is what? Reflection, knowledge. Until next